Hi, this is Ken Williams. I wanted to come on and speak about the story of Glennon Doyle. She is three times a New York Times best-selling author. She is a women's empowerment um, activist and also the founder of Together Rising. And Glennon told the story during her TED Talk about her experience with addiction starting at the age of 8 and dealing with addiction for 18 years, at the age of 8, battling bulimia. And then as time went on, it transitioned to not only bulimia, but also uh, alcohol addiction and substance abuse addiction, drug addiction. And evaluating her story, I didn't see a whole lot of information about her childhood, any attachment, whether positive or negative, to her mother and father. Um, but I did read and took note of her speaking in her TED Talk, and she spoke about feeling imperfect and the people around her she imagined as being perfect. And I believe that when she spoke about feeling imperfect, because she spoke about feeling oily and having anxiety often. And so when I think she speaks about imperfect, because there's not a whole lot of information on her background and her parents, normally I would try to see, well, was it any type of learned behavior, or is it any type of like psychodynamics of poor attachments or negative influence or childhood trauma that may have led to her bulimia. But based on the information I gathered from her, and I just have to assess this, I believe that she might have been speaking of her own physical appearance, how she imagined that beauty looked, physical beauty looked, and she compared herself against what she imagined beauty to look like, and felt that maybe within herself she did not see that. And so it may have caused some form of seeking approval. And this may be where the bulimia started. Again, I may not be accurate with this, but I think that that may have been the cause of bulimia. Or if we had enough information about her childhood, it could have been feeling imperfect, as maybe her parents had a high demand on her. And if she let them down or she didn't achieve the desired result, she may have felt feelings of failure, and that may have resulted in her feeling imperfect. But I think in this sense, she might have foresaw or thought, imagined what beauty is, and then saw herself and didn't think that she aligned with that, and so she sought that validation and that type of reflection from others, and she compared herself to others around her. And so I think that may have led to the bulimia, but also seeking approval from others and validation may have led to getting around the wrong crowd, which opened up to drugs and alcohol, and then may have been the source of her addiction. And so, looking at her case, if I had to treat Glennon during her period of addiction, I would have definitely recommended um, treatment for co-occurring disorders. First, starting with mental health, because I'm a firm believer that the cause of addiction or the route that led to addiction has to be addressed in order to sustain uh, sobriety. And so the first thing I would have dealt with is those inner feelings of not feeling perfect. I think she still even deals with those to this day. Based on her TED Talk, she still feels that she's in a imperfect world, a big, scary, icky world, and she still feels oily and things like that. So those things still reside in her. And I think that sometimes she says that she experiences those feelings and they're on stronger than others. And she's just learning how to cope with them daily. I think she does keep herself busy, but I think that the underlying root of her addiction has not necessarily been dealt with yet, just based on the information that we have. And so that's one way that I would start treating her, is to try to remove those thoughts, or to try to help her find some balance in self-worth and how she imagines herself physically and then within. And so I would definitely recommend some form of therapy, maybe one-on-one therapy with a counselor that she trusts, and that she can talk to during those times where she's feeling those feelings of not being beautiful, or low self-worth, or things like that. And so we will deal with that first, and then once we can deal and manage those feelings, then I think that it will be definitely a segue, current co-occurring treatment where we deal with the addiction also. But I definitely want to deal with the bulimia. I looked at some information on bulimia, and they said most folks that deal with perfectionism um, often often leads to bulimia. And so I think that trying to deal with the need to feel and look perfect is something that we would definitely have to deal with as far as the core of her treatment, and then we'll move on to the addiction. And so definitely co-occurring treatment, but mainly most foremost, because it appears that she does have a grip on sobriety, but I still feel that there's still some mental health disorder. Those feelings that led to addiction are still unaddressed based on the video. And so that's what definitely be the core of the treatment of my recommendation. Thank you.